No, 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 no heroes. No, 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 no heroes. No heroes, baby.
Hello everybody, my name is Jan. Today I'm going to commentate the match of Arman versus Onur, Lucci versus Shanks. Let's see who is going to be the victor of today. Arman already leading with 2-0, while Onur is 1-1. And there we go into the game. Shanks versus Lucci. Shanks begins. I think it's a well interesting matchup. Lucci known to be able to move everything, while Shanks knows that okay, well I can play the long game. I can just slam down the bodies, and depending on what list he's on, which we will see shortly, yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be one of those days, whether he's gonna just outperform, out control. But we see no control over here. 8K swing into Lucci, and he just happily takes it. And we're passing over to Lucci with 4 done. Arman is, comfortable still with 4 life. Could play the Borsellino. Could play. Actually, the Borsellino would be the nicest thing to play out right there. But we were gonna see. Is he? No, for 3 done. He's gonna swing with all his done. Using leader ability, trashing 2 cards. And yep, 9K into Shanks. He's not gonna use his ability to reduce 1 attack by 1. So he's just gonna take it. And there we see the done. 5 down on the name on Shanks. And yeah, I mean, there's a few options he could play. He could play the focus blocker to be able to, when he's removed, remove something on his side. But Lucci doesn't really care. Takes the 5K, and we see probably the best body on this matchup. But gets the ace from the starter deck. Does not have rush because Shanks not a Whitebeard type leader, but being able to stick on the board by just reducing himself by 2K is pretty good, making it pretty sticky. And Arman is thinking about his actions, whether he wants to swing again, swing for 6. So that's the minimum amount to at least threaten Shanks because of the leader ability of Shanks. And yeah, I mean, with 6 done, there could be a few things he could play down. He could set up, again, play a blocker. We see not a Borsellino. We see a Brook in the trash. We also see, I think, a Jack in the trash. So, a few things that the Rebecca could pick up. But right now, 6 is not 8. So, we are not ready for that big combo turn. And while Arman is thinking of what he could do, let's have a conversation regarding what Lucci in general can do against Shanks. Because Shanks is a 5 life leader, so he's not gonna be as vulnerable as others. Trying to remove his big bodies down every single turn will be exhausting. And then we see the 2K not using the leader ability, which is interesting to me. Playing down Sabo, to draw 2 cards, trash 2 cards, and passing over to Shanks. But yeah, Lucci, the name of the game, remover, against Shanks, pretty tough with bodies like Podcast, the A's. However, if you can grind him down, that's the way that he can win. But I'm in favor of Shanks. We all love Shanks. And there we see a 7K swing by Shanks. The Sabo still up, so that would just require the Sabo to block and a 2K to successfully keep the Sabo on board. And we're gonna just see exactly that. And then 5 down tapped, another ace. So yeah, that ace is not gonna go anywhere. And right now with 8 down, Lucci, usually want to remove the board, but a board that cannot be removed or as easily removed you might as well ignore that bot. There's a way that Lucci can go and remove him by, let's say ice aging one of the aces and then just playing Jack to force him to use the effect and then swing into it. But even then, it's not guaranteed, because if Shanks chooses to, he can still counter out of the 5k swing, because then Ace wouldn't be a 6k, he would be a 4k buddy on the field, requiring a lot more resources to keep him alive. But I would assume we're not gonna see that exact play, and I'm happy to be surprised of what Arman is thinking in that situation, because if I had known something, Arman has some lines that I would never think of. That's the difference between me and Arman who plays in the NCL. But yeah, looking at his trash, we see a Rob Lucci, we see Suru, we see a few 2k counters with I forgot her name. No, not Kefla. Anyways, we're gonna see a Tempest kick, so it doesn't really matter. So reducing the count of one of the aces, I would assume the one that is vested already, by free making him a 2k. Yep. Another 2k 2 cost. There we go. And let's see what will it be. Also, I apologize to everybody watching right now and thinking that how would I not know the names of such important characters. Sometimes I forget. That's just me. And we see again the 2k, the CP 2k, and a Gekimoya being milled. And we see the swing being counted out. The reduction. We see Rebecca Interbrook making him a 0 cost. And yeah, trying to remove him from bot. And we are not trying anymore. This is a demand. Sabo going to swing into the 8, no, swing with 8k into the 4k ace, telling his brother, nah, there's only one boy who will be standing. But now we see ace swinging back. I think there should be 9 done on the side of Shanks, swinging at Brook and thinking of letting the Brook go. There's an argument that you just use your active blocker, but on the other hand, you might then just swing with his leader, so it comes down to the same situation. Important to note that Sabo's effect is worn off, so now if Shanks decides to play something of the likes of Whitebeard, but we are not into that life, we're just gonna swing 8 into, I'd assume, Sabo, and not into life. But we will know the answer after that swing is gonna go through, and then we're gonna see a 9k swing by a Dragon with his on play to just give 2 Vestodon, the same 2 Vestodon that you used to play for this guy. And yeah, the target was Sabo, so we're just gonna see a bot remover. But yeah, he's pretty versatile and a really good card in Shanks, because Shanks usually survives a lot longer than other decks with his lead ability, not entirely negating an entire turn attack like Bonnie. However, being able to devalue just swing with your leader and always forcing them to at least attach 1 Don, unless your name is Red Pepper Luffy or Whitebeard, it's pretty valuable in my opinion. And I think Arman is also realizing this the longer this game is going on. With 10 done, 3 life, everything is possible. I wouldn't be surprised if Arman pulls it off. But right now, Arman is facing an ace that is pretty hard to remove, and the monkey the dragon that is easier to remove because he's just an 8k that, not an 8k, 8 cost that does not protect himself in any shape or form. We do see the 6k swing onto the lead. Shanks just takes it. We see an Ice Age reducing the 8 cost Monkey D Dragon down to the 2 cost, and now we see the star of the game, Gecko Moria for 8. And yeah, I guess that's just gonna be Rebecca, maybe a Suru, maybe a spend them to search more. But it sure is gonna be a Suru to reduce the dragon down to 0. Yep. So resolving the Suru first. Rebecca grabbing back a book, playing the book, and that's a dragon gone. And that's this much tells you how valuable it is to have ace in your deck as a red deck in general. Having a body that will always stay by your side. And there we see 10 cost Shanks. Does not KO anything. It's not the OPO6 one. It is the OPO9 one that will put a blanket -1 effect basically all turns through the entire board of Arman. Granted, that does not affect a lot of the cards on the board, but it does affect the Brook, who's now just a 3k fraud investment, and it does affect, who would have thought, Gecko Moria. And we do see the swing into the Brook, decides to let him go. We see a 6k swing into leader, will be answered by a 2k, and Shanks also getting in the damage. I apologize. Putting him down to 2. But as we all know, life is a resource, so it wouldn't be the end of it. Now with 10 done and 10 cost Shanks is a big problem. We see the 6k swing. I'd assume 6k into Shanks, probably deciding to just leave the ace be. And yep, that's gonna be answered by, I'd assume, the leader ability. Ooh. I think that's a card I did not expect. I mean, right now I don't have the deck list in front of my eyes, but I think that's OPO7 Stussy that, you know, if you, by sacrificing one of your own characters, you can KO one of your opponent's characters. And interesting that they decided to, you know, take this card in pretty good use of one of your 1-drops, 2-drops that you have summoned with Gecko Moria or just played down along the turn. But yeah, I did not expect that. I think that card is pretty much a spice card, people would say. I would consider it spicy. I didn't see that a lot in the recent months. But it's been also a while since I've seen Lucci being chosen. But Arman has some good history with Lucci. So let's see what Onur decides to do here. With 10 done to his name, could play another Shanks, but that's his entire turn, which we will not see. We will see the 7k swing with the ace, who's been here since day one. Ever since he got onto the board, he just decided, yep, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm unexpected it. And whether he will counter out of it is an interesting question. We know the answer soon. There is the 0 cost event. Okay. To trash, I think it was an Ice Age. Yep. trash in Ice Age and get 3k. And with okay, 2 more done. Oh, I did not see it. I did not see the dragon. All of a sudden, he came as quickly as he came and left as quickly as he does in the anime. But dragon being able to force a bit of pressure onto Arman. He's down to 1 life. His opponent is down to 2. But he still has a bot that he needs to take care of. He doesn't have that pesky Shanks effect to reduce the 2 9-cost buddies, or not 2 9-cost, 1 9-cost and 1 8-cost buddies on the field. But Onur's hand is pretty healthy, so I don't think he would be worried about those 2 swings coming to the bot. You see a quick count of the deck. Rob Lucci does tend to go through his deck quite fast, and there we see his trash. But I don't think this will warrant any fear of decking out himself, or milling out himself, more to say. The decision. There we see the question regarding the ace of his effect. But that ace will be on the board for a long time. We've seen the other one being removed by the good old I swing over you. But that is not really a thing that Lucci does usually. Lucci likes to remove via his effects. And that's why there's a lot of thinking, a lot of consideration, but we do see the 9k swing coming towards Shanks. Now the question is it going to be towards his leader, or is it going to be towards the board? And no, it is towards ace. And we just let ace go, deciding that, okay, Shanks has still 10 Don left. If he uses another Gekkomoya swing, it might ask a lot, and that's not really worth it. He did his magic already. We do see a Tempest kick, reducing the dragon down to 5. A leader swing would reduce it down to 4. And any other shenanigans, if there would be a Hemepo in the trash, for example, reducing the cost of a character by 3, that would be enough. We do see a swing by Lucci, or are we? No. Thinking if you can use the Don for something better. We see 6 cards in Onur's hand, and he decided, you know what? I'm gonna swing with my leader, trying to establish pressure, reducing the dragon, as mentioned. And now we see a 9k swing, 5 cards in hand. There might be a word where he just takes it. He can use leader ability to reduce the Gekkomoya by 8. 2-8, not by 8. Please forgive me for my pronunciation sometimes. So reducing it to 8, and then just use 2Ks to counter out. But that's not how it's gonna be. And we see another Gekkomoya. Now the question is, does he have it? And we do see the Mepo with the judge stamp, reducing him by 3, reducing him now by 1, making it 0, and KOing him with Brooks effect. And all of a sudden, the bot that I pressed earlier from Shanks with the 2 aces, Shanks's dragons that came and go is gone. Now, the good part about cards like Dragon, cards like Shanks, they have rush. So when they hit the field, they already established their value. They already did their job. So that's not it doesn't feel as bad as you play a card for 8 done, 10 done, and they just remove it in 4. However, right now, the board of Arman is quite scary. He has 3 bodies with 9k stats to the name. He has the Brook, which with 1 done can swing for 5, which doesn't really mean a lot. But if Onur uses his leader ability quite early to deny an entire swing, he doesn't really have his leader ability for one of the 9k swings coming his way. And we do see 3 done being dropped. I think 2 more done attached to swing. My assumption would be he would swing into the Brook, trying to... Oh, no, he just swings into life. And there we see Silver's Rayleigh, a blocker, which will be needed, and discarding just the 8 cost. And trying to get probably as much counter in hand as possible, but we do see the Ice Age reducing him by 5. We see 3 Dawn attached, so therefore making it a 7k, using leader ability and discarding a 2k, and now without leader ability, I think that's just gonna be a 9k swing into another 9k swing, and with 6 done to Arman's name, do see him counter out, but that's gonna be 1 take, and that's not gonna be enough. And I think, yeah, that's it. I said in the beginning of the video, it looks kind of grim for Arman, but as I know Arman, he's surely gonna push his way through. Yeah, he really did. He really did. Shanks did not have the staying power in that regard to apply pressure. He did take him down to 0 life, but Shanks didn't have a board. Lucci had a board. So I think for the next round, Shanks would try to find those 5 cost aces, those, that enable you to play for your board a bit, having a body that is not easily removed like all the other bodies that we saw, and trying to pressure him, telling him, okay, if you cannot remove my board, which, since you need to swing into it most likely, or use 2 times a removal effect on it, you gotta speed it up. But that's the power of black. Maybe in the next game we can see a bit more of the not controlling side, but we have seen the 8 cost Rayleigh innocent. I think we've seen Backman also innocent. Shanks didn't have the time, the comfort, better to say, to just play them out, because he knew that, okay, he plays them out, yes, he might be able to pop a body and make sure that 1 or best case scenario 2 other bodies cannot swing easily, but there's no value in it if Arman just removes them. But I truly believe Shanks has the tools in his deck, with the rush cards, with the cards that have sticking potential, to just overwhelm overwhelm Arman, which also sometimes he calls himself Shanks. It's a funny confusion. Knowing Arman, I would expect him to be a Shanks player trying to innovate in that department. But Arman has a title to protect, to defend. So yeah, we're gonna go into game 2 shortly. Both players are cutting their decks now. You're just gonna see Arman keeping his hand and same for Shanks. And I'd assume that Arman will go first, but I was wrong once, I will be wrong twice. So Shanks deciding to go first, and see a Helmepo and a Sue in the that's some good setup. And we see another searcher revealing Tempest Kick, the 2 cost, and another Tempest Kick. So we take a Tempest Kick, and yeah, read on to use. That's just some easy damage. And now with 4 done, eliminating. Oh yeah, I was about to say it's his turn, but he didn't give him his 2 dons, so to have it 4. I mean, there's an option to that we're gonna see a repeat of the first game. So the first swings 8, the other one swings also 8, but no, we see a 6k swing, trashing, I guess, the best free cost in the game with the Rebecca, using leader ability and just countering for 1k. Didn't catch it in time, but we do see the Brook on the field, and that Brook is it's a bit of a problem. We do see another swing. That's just gonna be it. Swing interface. We see 2 down open for the counter event, which the name is currently escaping me, but one does not care. Arman does not care one bit, saying that, okay, if you want to use that on my Brook, go ahead. I'm gonna get him back anyways. We see him playing the Sabo, discarding 2 Luchis. So yeah, Arman is feeling really, really comfortable. But you have KO protection, but you do not have any trash protection. So there is where the 7 cost comes in handy, removing one of the cards on the board and choosing the blocker. Not fearing the Brook, saying to himself, well, if the Brook is on the board, guess he's not coming back with Rebecca. And in that case, anyways, if he happens to have the Gekomori right now, he does not have enough reduction to get him down to 2. Because the leader is 1, making him at 6. Brook is 1, making him 5. Actually, he does. If he is willing to summon Helmepo, then he would have exactly the amount to get him down to 2, and then use Lucci to get it done. And we do see the 2 cards mentioned and needed for the play, but instead we're gonna see Tempest Kick and just a Jack. So we're gonna use Jack's ability, drawing a card, trashing a card, so basically cycling 1, and that's epic. Man gone off the board. And now we are in the same situation, or a similar situation as earlier. Lucci has a board, granted not a strong board, and that jack is vested, so we can deal with him easily. Speaking of dealing with something easily, there we see the 8 cost, reducing probably the jack by 3 and the book by 2, and just destroying the book. We see the swing into the, as at that point it could be either, but it's gonna be answered by a 2k, so everything's fine. We see another ice age, and we're just gonna see jack, draw 1, trash 1, which will get rid of that Sylvie's Rayleigh. And that is another body that, to be fair, did its purpose. He removed the book. He made it possible so that the jack can be threatened. But we do see a 7k swing into Shanks, milling another Stussy and Lucci. And we're just gonna see another jack, resting him just for the cycle. At this point, there's nothing to be, there's nothing to be needed to be removed on the board. And yeah. Now with Shanks staring down 2 giants essentially, considering the cost that are on the board being 11k, not 11k, 11 cost characters. However, facing red, it doesn't really matter. And I think that will be shown on display again. So reducing 2 and 1, not popping any of the searchers because to him is pointless. And probably swing 7 again into the jack. That is currently a 5k. This will be protected by a 2k and I'd assume a 1k. And now we are back onto Arman's side. It's gonna be to no one's surprise, another ice age into being dead with jack, which yeah, that's feel really bad. Checking out what his trash already has in store for him, or potential Yakumoya play or other plays. Decides to discard a Sabo, and that is 1 card down on the side of Shanks, going back to 0 cards on the board. And we do see a 5k swing, daring him to say, okay, use your lead ability. We see the hand on the Shanks as quickly as possible. And we do see Rebecca grabbing back the Sabo, saying, hey, I'm just gonna play out the Sabo, drawing 2, trashing 2, putting KO protection onto the board. And yeah, that's a tough situation while Onur is in. We see a backman just getting rid of that pesky Sabo. KO protection ain't trash protection, so Sabo cannot hinder him. However, the other attack will be answered. If I'm not mistaken, there shouldn't be any Don open for Shanks, so no potential for any red beams. And we do see another Ice Age, which means that card on the board is just gone. see a Gecko Moya, but deciding to discard this Tussi. And yeah, one card in hand. You see a 6k swing. Not using leader ability. We see an 8k swing by Jack. And no cards in hand. Gecko Moya. Probably gonna just get the Rebecca out. But yep, just getting the Rebecca out inactive. Rebecca's ability is gonna give him, looking in this deck, realizing that, oh well, I might overdid it with the cycling, grabbing him back at 2k, and yeah, passing the turn. And well, ladies and gentlemen, even though Arman has only one card in hand, he has two Rebeccas on the board, protecting him from any harm. And there are ways for Shanks to remove those two. They're not as efficient. So right now I think Arman is pretty comfortable. We do see, I think for the third time this turn, a Civis Rayleigh, not this turn, this round, reducing both of the Jacks and destroying one of the Rebeccas. And with 5 cards in hand, we're just gonna see 7k swing. It's gonna be answered by the other Rebecca. Wasn't able to remove those Jacks from the board. However, I think right now, making sure that those two will not be able to attack you is the biggest priority you should have. Because facing 1 9k swing and 2 8k swing without non-investment is devastating. And I think Onur thought about the same, as we cannot hear the players talking. So I am just guessing what it could be. But let's see. Arman with 2 cards in hand. I think one was Kaku. We didn't see him cycle it away. And one is random, or should be random. 10 Dawn to his name. Is he gonna divide his Dawn and try to go for Leafer? There's a possibility to. Because gonna see a 6. No, we're not gonna see a 6k swing. 5 cards in hand of Shanks. There is 3 life. Needs to get over. We see 2 Dawn underneath the Lucci, asking for either leader ability now and a 2k, but we're just gonna see swings over swings over swings, and we do see another Gecko Moya. I think Uno in disbelief at that point. Him playing out to Rebecca, and one of the Jacks being placed by a Helmeppo. Being to return important cards back to your deck so you don't deck yourself out. And I think we're gonna get the 2k that oh no, it's just gonna be Kaku. So I'm on double checking if he took the right decision. I think either are fine, but he should be able to just do C for the camera real quick. Return, I think 2 or 3 more CP0 cards back to his deck. We do see 2Ks to reduce him to the threshold where Jack can just do his bidding. And we're gonna see a draw 1, trash 1, and a goodbye to Silver's Valley. The board is looking as good as ever. 2 9Ks, 1 8K, 1 5K, and of course your leader versus Chang's board, which is pretty empty. And I think there's a small discussion towards those players, between the players. But right now, Shanks is in a pretty grim situation. And there's a few things he could try to do. He could play Lucky, the 4-cost blocker and another 6-cost blocker, but 4 is kind of near, kind of close to 3, and that would mean removal. And trying to swing with any higher Don investment would just get answered by Rebecca. So I think in that situation, this might be it for Shanks. Considering the board state of Delucci. Yeah, it's not an easy decision. Arman really got it. But to be fair, I believed Shanks has a pretty good matchup against Black in general with the aggression that he can pull up. And we see 5K swing. Arman just takes it. More cards in his hand. And I think this should be close to the game we see. I think not all iterations, but all versions of the 8-cost Silver's Valley in his deck being displayed, popping the Rebecca, and yeah. I think this might be it. 2 9K swings, 1 5K swing with Jack, and if you attach 2 more Don, you can even swing 5K with the Kaku, and this might be it. The more I look at the board, the more I see a 3-0 winning streak for week 3 for Arman, and might be sooner than we thought. Let's see. Will Arman just decide to swing again? Will he try to remove the board? We see, I think, okay, 5 done. Not 5 done. My apologies. 4 done. 4 Kaku, returning the 0-cost event, and Stussy back to his deck, reducing by 3, playing another Rebecca, deciding to not even slightly entertain the thought of swinging with that Kaku, and spend them, returning even more cards back to the deck, and either playing another Kaku, the same Kaku that he just replaced, and yep, we're gonna just see that. And if he has enough CP0 cards in the trash, which I think he does, yep, there's gonna be a reduction by 3 more. Jack is just gonna tap himself for a draw one, trash one. And now we're going to see 1-9k swing using leader ability and getting rid of the Rebecca, which would be a good thing. But I don't think that Onur can muster up the necessary swings, and a 7k from lead will discard a Shanks with the 0 cost event, and I think that's a gold D-Watcher for turn, and I think that's it. Arman is the victor, and yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next time for the NCL.